Hi, my name is Chris Evans, and I'm the editor of KFTV and World of Locations magazine. Today, I will be talking to Venia Vogu, director of the Hellenic Film Commission, about the top 10 things you need to know about filming in Greece. Venia, let's kick off with one of the biggest attractions of the country, its stunning variety of locations. Can you talk me through some of the highlights and how they can double for other places?
Sure, yeah. I mean, everybody knows that Greece has fantastic locations and amazing places that one can find for filming. And it's true. And it's not only the Greek islands, but also amazing landscapes and sites over the mainland and the Peloponnese. And there's a huge variety of archaeological sites and heritage locations that can be hosting important productions, either TV productions or features and documentaries. And they span through millennia, so you have a lot of variety in terms of architecture and types and scenery that one can find, from castles to medieval towns and Venetian ports in old towns in some of our islands. And so yeah, the variety is big. And not only that, in terms of natural landscapes, not many people know that in Greece you can find forests and lakes and snow-capped mountains up in the mountains in the north of Greece. So even volcanoes. I mean, one of our island in the Dodecanese, Nisyros Island, has hosted a lot of productions, and it's an island very famous because it has a volcano and people can shoot in the crater. We had a Spanish production a couple of years ago, Window to the Sea, that shot there, and it was beautiful. So apart from all these beautiful places, Greece has hosted productions over the last 3 years that doubled for other places, like the TV Israeli series Tehran that was shot in Athens and doubled for Tehran in Iran. And actually, they are coming to shoot the season 2 again. Also, as we all know, Little Drummer Girl was shot here a couple of years ago, and among the places that they shot close to Athens, they doubled it for Palestine and other places like
and for the Lebanon as well, didn't they?
And Lebanon and places in former Yugoslavia. So there are many places that can be found here. Also, we had a Dutch production 2 years ago. It's called Do Not Hesitate, and it actually premiered recently at the European Film Market, Berlinale. And they were looking for a place that looked like Syria. Obviously, they couldn't shoot in Syria. So they found some amazing landscapes on the mountains in the island of Crete.
Crete, yeah.
So the list is endless for places that can be doubled for other countries.
And that's also the case for the capital as well, isn't it? In Athens, that's doubled for lots of different places like France and Italy and Eastern countries as well, hasn't it?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it could be the case. It's exactly because Greece has such a strategic place in the northern east of Europe, between the Middle East and the southeast countries of the Mediterranean Sea. So the color and the culture and the architecture has so many influences from Venetians, from Ottoman, from Byzantine times. So people can find a lot of elements that could be used in their productions.
And I know that the ITV series The Durrells obviously is filmed in Greece as well, hasn't it? In Corfu, and I mean Corfu is a fabulous place with fantastic sort of Italian style architecture, isn't it? So it's a really beautiful place to shoot.
Exactly, because Corfu is one of the beautiful Ionian islands that were under the Venetian leadership for many, many years before they joined Greece. So the Venetian and Italian flavor in architecture is so strong. So yeah, Corfu was the place where Darrell's was shot, and in a particular villa. I was very lucky to visit that villa, and it's beautiful, overlooking the sea. And we also got the EUFCN, the European Film Commission's Best Location Award in 2018 for Corfu. Corfu was the best location for Europe that year because of Darrell's. So yeah, that has been a very successful TV production in Britain. So it has been a landmark production for us.
And obviously COVID's put a spanner in the works for a lot of productions, but Greece has continued to host a number of productions, hasn't it, in recent months, and will continue to do so in the coming months. I know there are a lot of big projects looking to shoot in the country over the next few months. Can you touch on perhaps some of those and where they'll be filming, if you can?
Sure. As I said, those few productions that I already mentioned, like the Darrells and The Little Drum and Girl, have been very good flagships for Greece over the last 3 years. And because of other elements that Greece offers, apart from locations that we're going to speak later on, like incentives. So in combination with how well Greece dealt with the pandemic, Greece attracted a lot of attention, and there were a lot of productions that were scheduled to film in Greece anyhow, but we also attracted productions that were not scheduled to film in Greece, but in other countries, but they changed plans and they moved to Greece because they felt they could be safe here. So among these productions is The Lost Daughter, the new film, the directorial debut actually by Maggie Gyllenhaal. That was shot on the island of Spetses in autumn 2020. And it has an all-star cast with Olivia Colman and Dakota Johnson and Paul Mescal, and they all were absolutely happy for being safe in a small, well-protected and COVID-free island, very close to Athens. So this is one of those productions. Daughters, which is a German, Italian, Greek co-production, and that was scheduled to shoot in spring 2020. They had to postpone their filming because of COVID, but they were actually, if not the very first, among the very first European co-productions that started filming in Europe in June 2020. And that was also shot on an island, on the island of Amorgos, which is the island where Grand Blue by Luc Besson was shot 30 years ago. So they were extremely happy there as well, because they were very well protected. They were following all measures and protocols. So Lost Daughter, Daughters, but also one of the productions that is currently preparing, and they're going to be shooting very, very soon, next month, is called Greek Freak, a project from Disney. It tells the story of the NBA basketball player Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's a big star here in Greece because he was born and raised here, and now he's a big star in NBA. And there are quite a lot of productions that actually, nearly 18 productions have been already scheduled for 2021. I cannot mention a lot about that because some of that is confidential with big names and we don't have the green light yet. I can say though that among those productions that will shoot in Greece soon is David Cronenberg. He's going to be shooting his next film in Greece.
Fantastic. And that's The Crimes of the Future, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they're coming for scouting very soon, so we'll have more information pretty soon in the future.
Fantastic. Great stuff. Well, you touched on it before. I mean, obviously the incentives are absolutely vital, as well as the location. So can you talk me through the cash rebate and the tax relief, the 40% cash rebate and the 30% tax relief, and how they work and how you can access?
Sure. Greece has been in the spotlight over the last 3.5-4 years now because of cash rebate as well. Cash rebate has reached 40% recently. It is operated and handled by ECOME, and they're doing a great job there, our colleagues, operating the rebate, with a lot of productions that have been benefited from it over the last 4 years. It applies to, it supports features, documentaries, animation, video games, TV series, and it has very low minimum expenditure. So for example, the minimum expenditure for feature films is 100,000 euros. And it's based on a cultural test criteria. One has to apply through a Greek company. It works on all year round basis. So applications are open all year round on a first come, first served basis. You just have to apply at least 10 days before the shooting starts, or you could also apply only for post-production. Post-production is also eligible for the rebate as well. And as long as the application is processed, within 45 days, you get a response on whether or not you're in. And after you come and you shoot in the country, and after the auditing procedure is over, you get the rebate back within 6 months. So it's quite straightforward procedure, and there have been quite recent developments in the legislation for the procedure to be even more smooth and fast. And also tax relief is operating, and it started operating recently. It is, as you said, on a 30% percentage, and it can be combined. I mean, one production can apply for the rebate, can apply for the tax relief as well. Again, it is operated and handled by ECOME, the tax relief, but one has to apply for this separately. And they don't really work on top of each other, because, you know, so many people get confused and think 40% plus 30%, so it's 70% off. It's not like that, because the rebate is money that you get back after everything is done, whereas the relief is deducted from the expenses of the investor.
Fantastic. And where can productions find out more information about these incentives?
Sure. I mean, everything can be found on the website of the Hellenic Film Commission, filmcommission.gr, as well as, of course, in far more detail on the ECOME website, ecome.media.
EKOME, right?
Exactly.
Fantastic. Okay, so aside from those incentives, what other economic and financial support is there available in Greece?
Well, the Hellenic Film Commission is one of the directorates of the Greek Film Center, and the Greek Film Center offers funding programs primarily for Greek productions, films and features and documentaries. And one of those funding programs applies to international productions as well. We call it the minority program. So the idea is that if an international production has a Greek minor production, they can apply for funding from the Greek Film Center. And also recently, we have launched, now in April, we've launched the Location Scouting Support Program by the Film Commission, where we encourage projects that are interested in scouting in countries like Greece to come and scout for the project, and we provide them some money through a Greek company though. So everything is in detail on our website again about this. This is something new, and we believe it's important to try to attract productions as early as possible and guide them through the landscape and the filming environment of Greece.
Fantastic. Can you talk to me also a bit about the Greek Film Commissions representing Greece at Euromage, and obviously the co-production treaties that you have with countries like Canada, Israel and China, places like that?
Sure. As I said, the Greek Film Center funds the Greek production, and it's been around for over 30 years now. So it's the official representative of Greece at Euromage. So productions are represented through the Greek Film Center at Euromage, and we have great percentage of success there for Greek co-productions. And also we have representation in Media Creative Europe through the Greek Film Center. And as you very well mentioned, Greece has signed the European Convention for Co-production productions, and we also have production treaties signed with Canada and Israel and China. So obviously productions and producers who are coming from these countries can benefit from these treaties.
Are there already productions from those countries looking to shoot in Greece? Is that early
David Cronenberg.
Fantastic. And what about some of the sort of local authorities? Obviously, you've got the Hellenic Film Commission, you've got regional offices all over the place. Can you talk to me a bit about them and how they work and why production should get in touch with them before shooting in the country?
Sure. I mean, we're very happy to not be alone, basically, as a film commission. Athens has a very active and well-handled office, the Athens Film Office. It operates over a year now, and they're doing a great job there. We work very close with them. And also there are some regional film offices that have started operating in Greece, like the Film Office of the Ionian Islands, the Film Office on Central Macedonia, and the Film Office of Western Greece. And there are many others coming up soon, because ECOME is actually also working with the regions in order to establish these regional film offices, and we are closely working with them. And they're doing a great job into actually attracting productions and guide them through their own jurisdiction, their own territory, and guide them through their location authorities. And what we do, being the national commission of the country, we provide productions who have scheduled to shoot in Greece with a letter to facilitate filming, and this has proved very useful for them when they apply to local authorities for filming permits. So we encourage them to come through us and give them this extra tool to open doors for their permits.
Can you just elaborate a little bit further on what support you provide to production? So someone looking to shoot in the country, if they come to you, what advice and support can you give them?
First of all, we'll explain to them how the incentives works, the system there, how the possibilities of funding from the Greek Film Center works for them. We'll inform them about, as I said, the location scouting support. And if they have progressed in their project in terms of kind of locations that they're looking for, obviously we can network them with local professionals and local location managers and production companies. There are many cases where obstacles arise and they come and intervene, primarily either just before shooting or during shootings. There have been cases and occasions where we had to be the ones, coming in the middle between the production side and the local authority to try to disentangle some problems there. And in most cases we succeed because we have established a quite well understanding with local authorities here in Greece, and we try to be the liaison for both sides to understand each other. So this is quite crucial in our guidance. And any other information that you might, we get questions like from what do I have to do to get a filming permit for the Acropolis? How does the incentive work? Is there a safety protocol for COVID? All sorts of questions can be raised and we answer them, all of them.
And I imagine in the current situation, obviously with COVID, there must be additional concerns and questions in terms of safety protocols, quarantining, that kind of thing. Can you just touch on the current situation and what they need to know?
Sure, because as we said earlier, one of the reasons why we had such a lot of traffic with productions scheduled for 2021 was the fact that we were handling well the pandemic, and we have safety protocol that has been issued by the Ministry of Culture in collaboration with the committee of the epidemiologists who consult the government for the measures taken for COVID. And it was a big success, the fact that when Greece entered the second state of lockdown in November 2020, which was a very crucial month, because we had a few productions still shooting, like Ruben Ostlund, who is also a huge production, a very important production that was shot in Greece in autumn 2020, in a region called Evia in central Greece and in the Peloponnese, and they had only 5 days left for shooting. So we also managed to persuade government officials that it is important this time for filming not to stop. So filming continued even when we entered the state of lockdown, with extra protocols, with extra measures. And also very recently, because there's a lot of productions coming in the country, and we all know about the quarantine situation with quite a few days that one has to quarantine before circulating in the country, film crews that come in the country and they have to undergo preparatory tasks, either reparas, scouting, professional meetings, under very strict protocols again, and with a COVID supervisor following them at all times, and under PCR test on a very constant basis, they can work from the second day, basically. So a lot of our job over the last year is to be among the film professionals and the policymakers to try to navigate protocols and exceptions for film crews.
Yeah, so what exemptions are there, just to be clear? So film crews, for example, working on scouting, are they exempted from quarantining or?
Well, yeah, we don't like to use the word exactly exemption from quarantine. We prefer to use the phrasing they can work after the first day of their arrival, if they are negative on a PCR test, under a very strict measure protocol that provides them with a safety bubble, with safety corridors on how to circulate in the country. Yeah, for film crews that come for scouting and preparatory meetings.
And so, sort of elaborating further on the fact there are lots of projects shooting in the country and using local crew, can you talk to me a bit about the quality of the local crew and why they're used, and you know, the amount you have, and yeah, everything about them, really?
Yeah. Greece has very good crews, very high quality crews. They're very experienced, perfectly English speaking professionals. The majority of crews are based in Athens because Athens is the hub, but they are all very competent in working all over the country. And we have a lot of productions that have been working with these crews and mingling and cooperating over the last 3 years. So the quality is rising year after year. We have wonderful film schools and film postgraduates and graduates who are also, we're trying to encourage them to be employed by Greek producers who are doing services for international productions, so that we find ways of, you know, developing our talent pools. So and also all these crews that come, and because, you know, big studios from America come to shoot in Greece, like I said, you know, Greek Freak is shot by Disney. Other big studios are expected to shoot in the country as well, which I cannot mention right now, but all of them are also training Greek crews to meet their standards. So it's obvious that Greek crews over the year after year can accommodate even higher quality productions and actually can accommodate anything. I mean, in September, Kari Fukunaga was shooting a huge commercial here in Athens, and was actually done with a strong collaboration with Athens Film Office in a very demanding shoot in a central square in Athens. And they had a huge crew, and it was actually a budget that could meet the standards of, you know, an average European production. It was just a commercial, but the level of the crew was really high. So all this mixing of crews coming from abroad, and especially from the States and the UK, and crews from Greece have raised the level of their expertise.
Fantastic. And what about, I mean, the country itself? How safe is it to film there and sort of obviously travel there and get around and logistically speaking, you know, go from one area to another? Is it all quite straightforward at the moment, or are there a lot of restrictions in place?
Well, while we are in a quarantine state, we cannot travel around the regions, but this does not apply for filming. All film crews can work anywhere in the country as long as they follow some specific procedures, like number one being they have to inform by specific permit, and they have to get a specific permit by the General Secretariat of Civil Protection. So despite the restrictions that we have as citizens, so like, for example, we have a curfew for until 9 p.m. This does not apply for film crews. They can work as long as they have followed by book all the procedures that they have to. And yes, I mean, apart from COVID, Greece is a safe country anyhow. I mean, everybody knows that, and the people here are very friendly, very hospitable. So there are many places all over the country that are welcoming for film crews, even more over the last 3 years, because now, you know, municipalities and mayors and heads of regions know how important it is for their local economies. So they have expanded their span of interest, their culture and their mentality is open to being film friendly. So safely, I would definitely say, is a guarantee situation here in Greece.
Fantastic. And finally, extending from that, obviously, in terms of the appeal of shooting in the country, there's obviously just generally great food, isn't there, and hotels and the lifestyle itself, and just living there and working there. It's a fantastic place to be, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a fantastic place to be, and I haven't met anyone that came here for filming without having a huge smile on his face after this experience. I mean, Ruben Östlund, the Swedish Palme d'Or winner filmmaker that shot The Triangle of Sadness, was saying that, you know, shooting in Greece has reminded him how much in love he is with this profession. And as I said, people are so friendly and hospitable, and the way of life and the quality of life is so you know, optimistic and grandiose, and experiencing life at its best, with amazing cuisine, amazing food, amazing places to go and meet. Of course, COVID has confined us a lot, but still COVID cannot do anything to harm us in terms of light and climate. So this is something that is there always, all over the year, and we have the best climate in Europe. You have long hours of daylight for shooting, which is something that film crews really, and DOPs really appreciate. So yeah, I mean, everybody that has come to shoot here, and we have come in contact with them, they always say just before they leave the country that they're looking forward for their next project here.
Fantastic. All right, brilliant. Thank you so much, Venya, for talking to me. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much as well. Thank you, KFTV.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.